Hello and welcome to Movies, Films, and Flicks. I am Mark Hoffmeyer, and joining me, Megan Hoffmeyer.
Sarah Newark, DJ Valentine, Billy Business, and Brendan Peters. This is Andy Boetes. It's Nathan Leahy. It's David Cross. It's Jake Lewitt. Norbert Morvan. It's Lisa Leahy. Joey Lewandowski. John Levingood. Professor Mike Dillon. Nick Riak. Niall Moore. Adam Youngblood Hodge. Eric Hoffmeyer. It's Jonny Numb.
Hello and welcome to Movies, Films, and Flicks. I am Mark Hoffmeyer, and joining me is a real kindred spirit. This is Jonny Numb.
Hello, I'm very, very kindred. I'm so kindred.
I kind of feel like we are. I feel like we met and then we're like, we like each other.
I don't even remember how we met, but it's kind of cool that it's evolved into what it's evolved into. I'm happy. I'm very happy about the progression of things, Mark. I continue to be impressed.
You know this. Podcasting's a lot of work, but you do meet cool people through it. Like Deep Blue Sea, the podcast. I've met some good friends, and I have good friends that I consider friends through all of this. Never met them face to face. I basically know you from your like shoulders up.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. Like if I saw you walking out in the public, I don't think I would know you. I would just I would have to like stop and go like this and block out everything else and just go from like shoulder up. Like it's Jonny Numb.
And it's like, oh, that guy who's doing the director thing. Oh, that's Mark. That's Mark. That's got to be Mark. He's doing the rectangle thing. Yeah.
I've been doing Deep Blue Sea, the podcast since 2020. And just the other day I saw Jay walking around his room and I was like, that's the first time I've seen Jay's legs. Like not in like a photo, but just walking around. I was like, Jay. I was like, you're tall. He's like, yeah, I'm like 6'something. I'm like, what? Like it's always just, you know,
it's usually you're right. It's like from the chest or shoulders up. It's very podcasting is a very seated job. Yeah.
So we're doing it. So it's March. Yes, it's March, and we're doing the 2025 Feel Good Awards. And if you don't know, the Feel Good Awards are kind of a play on our Feel Good series where we talk about movies like Green Room, The House That Jack Built, Super Dark Times, First Reformed, Bad Lieutenant, you know, feel good movies in quotes.
The best feel good. Yeah.
So we're going to do the 25 feel good scenes. And when we say feel good, it's in quotation marks. We're talking bleak, sad, good stuff. Might make you think, thought provoking, might punch you in the gut. Not literally. That'd be crazy. That'd be like The Ring. That'd be like a 4D experience. That I finally went to a 4D movie, Jonny Numb, and I hated it.
Okay.
I don't want to be shook around while watching a movie.
Are you talking about like sitting in those D-box chairs that shake you around?
So it's a whole theater, and I've never been to one. So I got out of school and I had some time to waste because I had my class graduation that night. Mm-hmm. And so I was like, I got something to do. So I went and I saw that Send Help was playing. So I just ran over there, got a ticket, but I didn't pay attention to what was playing in. And one of those 4D things sprays you with water and air, but there's a plane crashing and you're just going like it was. I never in a million years would have guessed how much it would throw me around. And so yeah, but I was like, I don't want to be jiggle around when I'm watching a movie. I just want to sit in my seat, like in a theater with one other person that's like 3 rows behind me and not move. But yeah, this thing tossed me around. I just want to put that out there, Jonny Numb.
You know, there's a theater near me that has those seats that it's a 1 or 2 theaters, and the seats will vibrate in accordance with what's going on screen. But I have no idea what the rhyme or reason for it is. I think these seats were left over from a previous theater, and it's just the system is still linked into these seats, but it's not like in every theater in this multiplex. It's just like 1 or 2, and you never quite know which one you're going to get. You know, am I going to be in the theater with the rocking seats, or am I just going to be in the theater with the plain nice reclining seats where I can just lay back and relax? But yeah,
just chill. Like, and they shouldn't do it for action movies. They should do 4D for like Kramer versus Kramer. I like to see them program that, or just something really sad, like one of the movies we'll talk about today.
I'd like to see Bad Lieutenant in 4D. Actually, let's do that. Yeah, let's go there. As he's spilling like vodka down his chest, all pathetic. You're like there's like vodka mist being pumped into the theater, and you're getting like a buzz off of it. Yeah,
a Bible pops up in front of you when he's in the church. Just Yeah, Bad Lieutenant for 4D experience.
Someone from the projection booth tosses the sacrament out at one point.
So yeah, I just got to get that out there because I don't want to be shook around while I'm watching a movie. Teach their own, right? There's billions of people on this planet. We're all different, but I just
Well,
didn't enjoy it.
I've always had a problem with motion sickness myself, so I'm not a big fan of it either, honestly.
I was impressed by how much you get shook though. Like my popcorn was like, bub, 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 bub. Like, whoa, I didn't even see that coming. You have to like, I wouldn't take my 4-year-old now. My daughter would just be bouncing all over the place. So
I was gonna say maybe it's designed to increase like concession sales because like if you're caught off guard and you spill your soda or your popcorn, you got to go out and get more. Yeah.
the floor is just all popcorn. It's like a ball house, but just popcorn from all the stuff that's spilled.
It's like up in Antarctica. You have to have snowshoes to like wade through the popcorn to get out of the theater.
Corn shoes, like when you walk out and the soles of your shoe, like when you like catch a rock in the bottom of your shoe, it's just kernels.
It's just kernels. I was gonna say, Mark, are you ready for popcorn?
Yes.
Are you ready? Sorry, lame corn reference there, but yeah.
I'm ready for popcorn.
Are you ready for corn? Oh. There you go. You can cut that out.
Your feet are just sticky on there. You're just it's like quicksand, but it's gross.
I really have this image now of like a floor covered like about ankle high in popcorn. And
don't eat it.
Don't eat the yellow popcorn. That's
never.
Yeah.
No. I worked in a theater. I loved it.
No floor corn.
I used to take full bags of popcorn at night. I don't know what led me to it, but I would just throw them on top of the roof. It was like a big theater, and I would see if I could make it. I don't know what self-destructive thing in me did it, but I threw a lot of popcorn bags, like big trash bags full at the end of the night, just one.
And you were able to get it on the roof?
Yeah.
Holy crap.
I tore 14 tickets with one hand one time. I was like, what?
That is like some kung fu master shit right there, Mark.
Yeah. When you go to like the like hibachi grills and everyone's cooking, it was like that was me, but with like tickets. The people who spin the signs.
One fell swoop, and you cut 14 tickets down to size.
Like when people spin the signs outside buildings, like I did the ticket stubs like that, just on my finger, and I had a line whenever people were leaving the theater. I was like, "Come back soon, if not sooner." I wasn't quite sure what that meant, but I was like, "Come back soon, not sooner." I would harass people. I guess a girl knew my brother, and she's like, "Your brother works at the theater, and he harasses people when he leaves, though." When they're leaving the theater, I'm like, "What do you think about the movie? You like the movie? You like the ending? It was a good ending." That's how I spoiled What Lies Beneath for a poor couple.
See, that's something that I get at my art house theater in Harrisburg. People, the staff will ask you like when you come out, like, "Hey, what did you think of it?" Just to make conversation. Nobody at the chain theaters does that. That's like not even art form anymore. So
my name tags were like Sven, Biff, Bucky. And like I guess one time when I was doing that, some guy walked up to one of the managers, like, "That guy Sven's a real a-hole." They said that about me.
I cannot see that.
No, I was just being nice. Like people sometimes I'm so earnest, people think I'm rude. Like I got a spice rack one time and I was so happy about it. Someone got mad. Like, okay, you don't have to rub it in, it's just spice rack. Like, no, I love rubbing spice in. Like it's great. Like I love a spice. I was very happy about my but I guess I was so happy people thought I was like being rude.
No, I can get that. It's like you're so overly sincere about it that it almost goes the other way around, kind of, and it seems like you're being sarcastic and ironic. No, that's probably a real thing these days. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, so that's my life, Jonny Numb.
I love it, Mark. I like the story about hurling popcorn on the roof. And a part of me is like, I wonder if you hurled kernels on the roof and there was a lightning storm and the lightning hit the kernels, would it make popcorn? And then would there be popcorn like overflowing from the roof and then engulfing the theater? That would be awesome.
It'd be amazing.
It'd be sort of like the Jello mold in Ghostbusters 2, only with popcorn instead of slime.
Now these were fully cooked. I don't know if there's too many kernels left in this because this was just like the leftover stuff that they poured out of the popcorn maker at the end of the night. And then I was an usher, so I took stuff out. Mm-hmm. But when I was feeling saucy, I'd chuck it up on the roof.
That's funny. I used to work in.
I couldn't explain it. Imagine Mark, why'd you do it?
No, it's What reason does there need to be is my question. There doesn't need to be a reason,
Because that
Mark.
movie, because it was there, like, because
Yeah.
I thought it was funny. It seemed like a challenge, but like, there's no long term goal. And if someone went up there, like, who did this?
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love it.
All right. Feel good time.
I think so. I think that was a good inexplicable lead in to our feel goodies or whatever you want to call these awards.
All right. You go first.
Okay. Um I did deliberately rewatch two movies that I wanted to talk about before today during this podcast. Hang loose, Mark. Hang loose.
I'm proud of you. Sometimes I'll be like, I haven't even watched the movie. And I'm like, oh,
I guess the first one I'll go with is the best feel good going on an adventure movie. That would go to Andrew DeYoung's Friendship. There's a great scene in this movie that it's actually plays out two different ways. Early in the movie,
we're
Tim
talking about the
Robinson.
tunnel.
Yeah, Tim Robinson and Paul Rudd go into this tunnel on an adventure. They're basically in the sewer system, and Paul Rudd's like, "Hey, this is cool. Let's do this. It'll be an adventure." And they wind up in City Hall. Tim Robinson loses one of his shoes in the sewer water, and he makes a big deal about it. But then later on, Tim Robinson and Paul Rudd have a falling out. So Tim Robinson is trying to sort of rekindle his relationship with his wife a little bit, who he's grown a little bit distant from. His wife's great, played by Kate
Hey,
Mara.
Mara. Yeah.
Yeah, she's great. And he's like, come on, let's go on an adventure. And he takes her down into the sewer, and it's like very awkward. She obviously doesn't want to be there. She's going on like, hey, are we going to get arrested? How is this legal? This isn't legal. So he's basically doing a lot of yelling and screaming, and she gets up on this ledge that he and Paul Rudd got up on to get underneath City Hall, and he says something to her, and she just like stares at him like she's had enough of him, like she's just had it. So she like just walks away from him in this sewer where who knows, she doesn't know where she's going. He barely knows where he's at because he's only been there once before. It's just really kind of cringy funny, and there's like I forget how much time passes before, spoiler alert, they actually find her. There's all this time that passes where, oh yeah, oh yeah, we went into the sewer and she disappeared kind of thing, and it's just so cringy. And but that's a scene from that movie stuck with me, especially that scene, just because of how like wrong it felt. Like this is definitely a feel good moment because I'm just like, who in their right mind would think taking their wife who you've sired a child with who's in his teens, you've been married a long time. So what in your right mind makes you think taking her into the sewer for an adventure, as he calls it, would be a good idea? So Friendship gets the award for most I'm gonna mess it up. Most feel good adventure for me.
Man, when that boxing scene too,
Oh my God, yeah.
you just
You sucker punched him.
like that guy does not. I don't even know how that guy does not exist in the real world. That character, but I mean, it's so great. Just the new Marvel
Yeah.
movie's out. It's sick, or like I hear it's sick, and
I
just
hear it's crazy. They
oh,
say it's crazy. This is
oh
a Marvel
man,
spoiler-free zone, okay? No spoilers.
yeah, that tunnel bit. Poor Kate Mara. You're just get away from him. He's horrifying.
I mean, on the upside, and I forgot this part, she does have an orgasm while she's down in the tunnel.
Yeah,
Sort of this divine orgasm, which is I forgot about that part. I'm like, oh, okay, all right. It all comes back around to the opening self-help circle scene. So
that movie just makes you want to. Oh, and he's there.
in the self-help thing,
Oh,
yeah, that's especially
you just
yeah.
want to crawl inside yourself and die when you
Yeah.
watch that.
And I
Oh
love
man,
I love I love Paul Rudd. Like, who doesn't? I feel like if you don't like Paul Rudd, I seriously suspect something is wrong with you. But he's so good, and he's almost playing his character from Anchorman a little bit, as because he's playing a weatherman for a local TV
yeah.
station, but he has that sort of like twinkle in his eye, and he's got that really cool mustache and hair. Well, spoiler, but it's a hairpiece. But
Yeah, and he
you
still has his
know,
issues, which you learn later. And
yeah. So I kind of yeah. There's a lot I like about that movie. It took me by surprise because I'm not probably not the biggest Tim Robinson fan, but I saw it in the theater, and I think I was the only one there, and I was like laughing out loud by myself in the theater when I saw that. So.
that guy commits to a bit like none other.
Yeah, it's like usually the shouty type of humor, like where it's just like people yelling is not my forte, but hits hits us he makes a certain balance with it, I think, that where it mostly works. Yeah.
So I'm gonna go bleak on this.
Please,
Yeah,
please.
yeah. I don't really have a tunnel scene, so I can't bring that up. I'm gonna take a scene from like a House of Dynamite. I'm not sure if it totally worked, but there's a scene that's been stuck in my memory for a long time. And so these missiles about to hit Chicago, and
Hmm.
Jared Harris, he plays this guy, the Secretary of Defense, Reed Baker. His daughter lives in Chicago. He's recently widowed. He's split up from his wife, and so he wants to like get his daughter out of there, but he can't. So he calls her on the phone, and this is a spoiler, but it doesn't spoil the ending of the movie. It's just like the middle of the movie. He calls his daughter, played by Caitlin Dever. He's just talking to her, just she's really being distant. Oh, my therapist said I can't talk. Like I need some distance. And but then he learns that she's with like her boyfriend. He's like, oh, you're with your boyfriend. And so like he's like, good, that's good. Like he knows that she's walking to work with her boyfriend. He actually took that line from Bruce Springsteen, good, that's good, which is kind of interesting. And but like so at the end of it, he tells his daughter, he's like, hey, I love you. And she's like, okay, bye, dad, and hangs up the phone.
Hmm.
And so she's about to, you don't know what's gonna happen, but like presumably she's about to blow up and just die. And so he's looking shell shocked. And this is, Jared Harris is an incredible actor. He like it's shot in this wide shot. It looks pretty amazing, man. And so he's walking to this helicopter. He just keeps walking and walks off the building and just kills himself.
Oh, okay.
And the
Ooh.
pilot's like, oh my gosh. And just but like the whole scene, he calls his daughter, he knows she's not going to make it. He's happy she's with somebody. He says, I love you. She doesn't, because she's
Hmm.
just ready to go and she's processing. And then he just walks off a building. And you're like,
Wow.
phew. And so like no
That's
matter what people think about that movie, I just didn't see that coming. Megan was watching it separately from me, and she had to rewind it because she went, did that just happen? And so it's a little bit of a spoiler for that scene, but not the overall part of the
mhm.
movie. But it's just sad. And maybe with Mallory, just hearing him tell his daughter he loves her, and she's going like, okay, dad, and like doesn't say it back. And then just it's Jared Harris, so he's incredible.
Oh yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but man, that's a feel good scene right there.
That
Just,
is that is bleak.
but
Yeah.
it's shot well, and Catherine Bigelow knows what she's doing,
Oh yeah.
and it's just it hit hard, and it's really stuck with me. And I think, maybe if a lesser actor did it, and if it was played more dramatically, other than like a wide shot, it wouldn't hit as hard. But Harris just sells the crap out of it. Just this
Hmm.
processing and whew, dang,
I,
Johnny Numb.
I was gonna say I actually haven't seen that, Mark, but is there any like music playing? Is Catherine Bigelow trying to push you to feel a certain way, or is it just kind of like she's showing it to you? This is happening. He falls off, or he walks off the building,
Well,
and
so like,
it's just like kind of no music, no score, kind of no pretense, of what he's gonna do. Obviously,
yeah, you don't
you don't know that
know.
he's gonna do that. Yeah.
Like, it's not like, and I walk to the on high and I step to the edge to see the world below. Just
Can you take me
it, yeah,
higher?
exactly. He's not treating,
No.
and it's just a wide shot with the helicopter going, and I think he's on the line with the president who's played by Idris Elba, and the
Okay.
movie keeps going to different characters. It just replays the same 20 minutes over and over and over,
Mhm.
and but yeah, it's you just don't see it coming. You're like, whoa. So yeah,
Yeah,
but more
Jared
so
ha
for me, it's just like when she's like, okay, bye, dad, like doesn't say I love you, and I'm like, oh,
yeah, that's I've talked with I have some friends who are also relatively new parents, or their kids are like Mallory's age, and they're like, there's certain things I can't watch anymore now that I'm a parent, with with a child of a certain age. Like he was talking to me about how like I'm not going to be able to watch it anymore, where Georgie in the storm drain, gets his arm pulled off and all that stuff, like because he has a son who's around Georgie's age from so stuff like that. It's kind of interesting, I think, how we process that stuff where
Yeah.
when our circumstances change. So
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I wouldn't look this same way in 2018. But yeah, I mean, just it's a depressing moment. It's a feel good moment. Jonny Numb.
oh, absolutely. And thank you for reminding me. It's like I still need to watch that movie. I heard mostly good things about it, so
It just ends with a lot of people are pissed off by it. But for me, I kind of like chaos, so I dug it.
yeah, I heard some of that too. So, but I like Catherine Bigelow. I feel like she doesn't miss, she doesn't really miss, period. So
And
when
even if
she
she does,
does
it's going
some,
to be interesting. you know?
yeah, yeah, that's the thing. It's not going to be like some unknown director who's just like taking a big swing and they just royally botch it. So
Or some mediocre movie. Like this is one that got people happier. It's quite a polarizing movie, and I like that they had the guts to do that.
yeah, so I'll have to check that out. Thank you.
What's
Um,
your second pick?
I wanted to give this movie something because I'd kind of forgotten about it till I was going back through my letterbox because I saw it like the middle of last year, so it kind of fell out of my mind somewhat, which is inexcusable. But if I had legs, I'd kick you.
Oh,
I love this movie. It really sort of smacked me upside the head with a 2x4 while I was
it's
watching
like a
it.
hamster bite.
It's actually like a hamster that is so fast and it keeps biting you and it bites you for like an hour and 40 minutes. And you just can't reach the hamster because it's so ninja fast. It just keeps nibbling at you. I'm not going to go with the thing that's probably the most obvious feel-good moment in that movie, which involves pulling pulling something out of a body. I'm going with the scene where Rose Byrne, who plays Linda, she's fantastic.
Oh, great.
All the raves that are coming her way are totally justified. Did she get nominated for an
Oh
Oscar,
yeah,
Mark?
I think she's the favorite to win.
Is she nominated? Okay, all right. I'm just like all I hear is sinners in one battle after another. It's like kind of everything else is getting
Hmm.
like pushed aside, but that's good to hear. But she's playing this woman who's having extreme issues. Huge hole breaks open in the roof of her house, pretty much kind of flooding it, so she has to live in a seedy hotel. But the moment I'm thinking about is early on in the movie. Early on in the movie, we see her on the couch in a therapist's office. Her therapist is Conan O'Brien, and he's actually really, really good in this movie.
Really tired.
Yeah, he kind of has this there's this icy impenetrability about him that I like. He already has kind of those eyes that sort of look like little dots to begin with anyway. So this movie really takes full advantage of like not quite knowing what's behind his eyes. But in any case, he's talking to her. She's like venting about her situation. And then Conan O'Brien is like, yeah, the hour is up. Or she decides to arbitrarily get up and leave. Because I think both of those things happen in the movie at various points. So she walks out of his office, and the way she's being filmed is like she's coming toward us. She's walking towards the camera, and she says to somebody, "Hey, I'll be with you in a second," or something like that. And we don't know what's going on at this point. This is again early on in the movie, and then we discover Rose Byrne is also a therapist, and she's in this horrible headspace. And this comes out in the sessions that she has with her patients as well. And it just makes me feel, wow, this person is barely holding it together, and they're trying to sit there, listen, they're sleep deprived, they're trying to give people psychological advice when obviously it's all over her face. She's tired, she's weary.
Her husband's yelling at her all the time from a boat somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. Christian Slater, so
Yeah.
good in that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so good mostly as a voice in that movie. But she's just like the way she's filmed is just like kind of tragic in a way, but it's also kind of darkly funny at times. But it's like, oh my God, if this is the person that you have as a therapist, I think most people would be like, yeah, I'm gonna go someplace else.
Yeah.
I'm gonna call my work's therapy hotline and try and get set up with another therapist because this is not gonna work. So that's my
this isn't
My
shrinking.
second feel good moment.
Yeah, she's so good. And I like that they never show the kid in there because it's not the kid's fault. It's just she loves her daughter. She's just going through sleep deprived depression. She's not. I like that the daughter's not the problem. If that makes, like, she loves her kid a lot, but she's just
Yeah.
not there. So it's a very interesting way to do it. I think it also helps that the director, was it Bronstein, Mary
Mary,
Bronstein.
yeah.
She kind of went through something similar, and I think I just I don't know. And she's also married to the guy who helped produce all the Safdie brothers movies, so that kind of explains the stress bomb of it all. But
Yeah.
I think she really tackled it, and I don't know. It's such good. It's so stressful.
And I think there's like I like the subjectivity of it, which I think you're getting at, Mark, is like you don't see Christian Slater up until the close to the end of the movie. You
Yeah.
never see the daughter's face. A lot of it is obviously through her perception, and it's like all she's just kind of has no choice but to think about herself and how she's just going to survive from one moment to the next without totally having a breakdown. And I kind of sat there thinking to myself while I was watching it, please don't fudge the ending to this. Please don't
Yeah.
fudge the ending to this, because I think there's some movies like this, there's sometimes that urge to like bring it back around and try and make it hopeful or whatever, but they don't do that.
Do 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 do
Yeah.
do 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 do.
Tom
Thank you, Norbert.
Holland,
Yeah.
Tom Holland and Cherry, everybody. Yeah.
This guy was going. Oh my gosh, that's one of the worst movies ever made. When I first watched it, I'm like, yeah, that was good. And I started thinking about it, like, no, I hate this. It's one of the worst films I've ever seen. It was really. I was taking chance of it. Sorry.
But
She gets hit by the huge wave too. Just watching little Rose Byrne get whacked by a wave.
And it's such a surreally shot image as well, because in some ways it looks like the wave is retracting her or she's going forward into the wave. I really dug that a lot. I thought that was very potent, and it's like here's her catharsis. She's letting the ocean slap her around. This immense body of water is slapping her around because that's what she needs. Yeah. I mean, that's what she thinks she
Look,
needs.
she needs
I'm not
sleep.
saying she needs a slapping around.
What she needs is that machine to be gone and for sleep. That's what
Yes.
and her daughter to eat.
Yes. Just do it already, please.
Yeah, yeah.
So that was my award for most feel-good therapy in a movie.
Okay. I really like it award. There's a movie called Bob Trevino Likes It, and it's with John Leguizamo
Oh yeah, yeah.
and Barbie Ferreira and Rachel Bay Jones. And there's a scene where, all right, so the lead character is Lily Trevino. She has the worst dad ever, played by French Stewart. We're talking, the guy's horrifying. Like, so he only calls her when he needs money, or he brings her along on a date because he wants to impress strangers because he has a daughter and he's like, I have a good daughter, but he's a horrifying man. Then one night she sees this Bob Trevino. She thinks her dad's on Facebook, so she friend requests him and sends him a message. But it's actually another guy, Bob Trevino, played by John Leguizamo, which the director had happened to her. And so the two sort of strike up this. She's like in her 20s, really awkward, and he's this lonely guy who really good dude, works long hours, doesn't get promoted. His wife is addicted to scrapbooking, and so she's like really into scrapbooking. But it turns out that it's like the two, Barbie, Lily and Bob, become friends, and he takes her to like he has a property where they were going to build a house before something happened. His son died when he was really young. Every year since then, he goes and watches a meteor shower every year. It's like a yearly tradition. And then, throughout the beginning of the film, we see that his wife scrapbooks. She's like a national champion in scrapbooking. She goes to Vegas for conventions, and she's never around. But then you learn that after the son died, he retreated into work, and then his wife retreated into scrapbooking. And so what she did was she started saving everything from their young son. So her first scrapbook was, oh man, was all the stuff from their kid. And the director actually knew a mom who was a scrapbooker, and one of her friends had a friend who lost their child. Like, the photos that were used was like she had a friend who lost her child early, so she had all these like things that had happened, and she put them into one movie. But the wife really got into scrapbooking to like save all the memories of the kid, and then he retreated. Then they kind of talk, and they go out, and the girl Lily, like, French Stewart was so bad to her. She held a dog once and hurt it. Then he convinced her that she was terrible with animals and just would abuse them. So then Bob takes her to a shelter and she pets dogs and she learns like, oh, actually, I'm good with dogs. Like I'm not as bad as my dad. And this convinces Bob to go home and look at his wife's scrapbook for the first time about their kid. And you're just watching it and you're just like falling apart. It's yeah. And like John Leguizamo's perfect in it. He's incredible. Barbie Ferreira is great. French Stewart's evil and he's really good. But yeah, I think most importantly is just the Leguizamo and his wife, they lost their kid and she got into scrapbooking to preserve his memory. And then that's what she poured her energy into. At first you think it's like a weird character trait. You know, sometimes in movie people
like
just
a device.
Yeah, like have character traits for no reason. But this one was for coping because he retreated into his work and it's, man, yeah. So, but then that whole scene where, you know, they watch a meteor shower, he teaches her that she can actually, you know, pet animals and not kill them.
It sounds like it sounds like there's a little bit of hope. There's a little bit of hope in that one, Mark.
Yeah, there is. Yeah. I mean, you know, I'm not going to say how it ends, but I think Barbie Ferreira's character, Lily, she goes to a better place through him. And she kind of gets past like their relationship helps them both. And yeah, but man, it was kind of a comedy too. Like just the way that Barbie Ferreira is perfect in it. But yeah, it's a good movie. But that scene where you learned about the scrapbooking, you're just like, oh man, that was a gut punch.
Yeah.
So that's my second award.
You know what? I will say this. I'm happy to hear French Stewart is they're casting him in interesting roles like this because basically he was for the longest time the third rock from the sun guy.
Well,
yeah.
you know.
But he was I'll mention this. He's really good in this movie called Surveillance from like 15 or so years ago. It's a Jennifer Lynch film. And he's playing sort of a character you wouldn't expect him to play. He's playing a corrupt cop basically, but there's sort of a Lynchian sort of quirkiness to his character, but it's not the characters in that movie are like, again, sort of removed a couple layers from reality. So it's almost like it's not quite a feel good movie in terms of like the unreality kind of buffers the viewer a little bit, I'd say. But he's really good in that one. If anybody out there is a French Stewart fan, I would recommend.
Yeah, and Stargate. And he's a baseball player in a movie too. I think he's a baseball player in a movie. He's had an interesting career.
Yeah, you know, I actually never really watched Third Rock from the Sun, so he's sort of an enigma to me, honestly. So I want to see what the Bob Trevino Likes It.
Yeah, he's good.
I want to see it because I think my theater got it, but my art house theater got it and I missed it when they had it. So
is he not a baseball player in a movie? I'm looking here. Oh, I guess not.
Are you thinking about the John Malkovich thing where he wasn't a jewel thief?
I would have put money on him on the fact that French Stewart was a baseball player in a movie, but I guess that never happened.
I think he could pass physically as a baseball player. Yeah.
All right. What's your third pick?
Yeah, I have two big ones that I want to save for last, but the other one that stuck with me, sort of like the tunnel scene in Friendship, is most feel good shower scene. Okay, now I'm not being a pervert here or anything, but my vote goes to Dave Franco in Together.
Oh, when he's getting smacked all over the place?
Yeah, early on in the movie, after they've had that chance encounter with the chasm in the forest, and they drink the water that's kind of you probably shouldn't drink, and then
don't drink that water.
Yeah. Weird things start to synchronously happen between him and his wife Alison Brie, who's, you know, their real life couple. And I forget what exactly is going on with Alison Brie at the time, but Dave Franco's at home, he's taking a shower, and basically he starts getting like whapped around the shower. It's like he's being pulled by some unseen force. He's slamming against the tiles, and he's just, meanwhile, Michael Shanks, the director, is trying to find creative angles to like obscure his private parts, you know, but it's just a really painful scene that you feel, I believe, like on almost like a physical level because of the way it's shot and because of the way Franco performs it. So, and that's to say nothing for what progressively happens throughout
the bathroom scene.
Yeah.
That one's a gnarly one right there.
Or the where they're sitting at the kitchen table, and the electric carver is involved.
Hey, two become one.
Yeah, and again, that's a movie where I thought to myself, you could really screw the pooch with the ending to this. They could have, it would be very easy to kind of be like, oh, we had this idea and we kind of didn't think about the outcome. But I think it really comes to a good interesting ending. Actually, I like where it went.
You're
It
using
actually,
some wholesome words here. You said, I hope they didn't fudge up the ending of if I had legs, I kick you, and then screw the pooch on this one. Very wholesome.
I'm trying to be cognizant of our PG-13 rating,
I love
Mark.
it. No, that's why I love you, man. It's great.
I want to save the token F bomb until like the very last thing I talk about. No, just kidding. But no, again with Together, it's more that the experience is almost more visceral. But there is a psychological component to it as well, because you have to Alison Brie and Dave Franco have to be like, how do we convey these two characters in such an extenuating, even absurd circumstance, And I think the fact that they are a real life couple, sometimes,
It works because of that, I think.
yeah, I actually think it does work because it's a known fact that they're together. Whereas I think something like almost Eyes Wide Shut, it works inversely, kind of to maybe that was Kubrick's intention, is like, because Kubrick was an ice cold kind of director, and Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman aren't necessarily the warmest cinematic presences, but I think with Together it really benefits from that real life connection between the two of them. It was really they were really selling it, is what I'm saying. So
No, and just never drink from cave water.
no, I was just
You're
kind of
not Bear Grylls.
yeah. I was just kind of sitting there thinking, okay, I'll allow it. I'll allow it. They must do this because obviously this is going to be the catalyst that leads into the stuff that happens. So I'll accept it. And I still really wound up loving the movie despite the cave water drinking.
We need
Actually,
to start cave water.
Side award, Mark, best cave water drinking, Together. Most feel good cave water drinking.
Okay. Because let's see, what are caves? Lone Samurai had a cave. Yeah, that's one has the best cave water drinking for sure.
I didn't know there was more cave water drinking in 2025.
That's a list.
You've seen more movies than I have, obviously.
I'll have to, you know what? I'll put together a list.
Please.
We'll change. I'll do a pick 2 for Movies, Films, and Flicks Facebook on it.
There'll be like 24 movies with drinking cave water you'll find from
movies with dangerous caves with dangerous water. The Descent, like the blood water thing.
Blood pool,
yeah. I'll do dangerous water and Anacondas, The Hunt for the Blood Orchid.
What about that movie Dangerous Animals that came out last year?
No, there's not really any cave in that. I don't think there's a cave.
But it has water in it though.
Oh, I was thinking
water would be actually, yeah, water is too broad.
Just water. Movies with water.
pick two movies with water. That feature water.
Pick 2 2025 movies that featured a lot of water. There we go. We will do that actually from Deep Blue Sea. We on Deep Blue Sea podcast, we do our water scene award every year.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's good.
That's perfection.
There's not too much water in this movie, but I'm gonna go with A Little Prayer. It features my favorite performance of the year from Jane Levy as Tammy.
Oh yeah, you were telling me about this.
David Strathairn plays a guy named Bill, and so I guess the general plot of it, if I'm going to read the plot synopsis, when a man begins to suspect that his son is having an affair, he falls into a relationship minefield trying to protect his daughter-in-law and understand his son. None of that's true. This is a movie by the guy who wrote Junebug, which this movie is all about little moments in humanity and incredible performances. Celia Weston, Will Pullen, Dasha Polanco, Anna Camp, they're all awesome in it. But Jane Levy plays this woman named Tammy. All right, so the guy named Bill, David Strathairn, he lives in North Carolina. He's a Vietnam vet. He's married to Vanita. They have a nice home. He has a metal manufacturing plant. in his backyard, he has a guest house. His son David lives there. He's a veteran from the Iraq War. He went over there like 3 times, and his wife Tammy. And like it's just them sort of navigating their lives. And then Patty, played by Anna Cam, comes home with her kid, and she's just a tornado stealing money and has like a metal detector and just a maniac. But Bill learns that his son's having an affair with someone who works at the job, and there's no big speeches. There's no, he's a quiet Vietnam vet who probably was need to know with a lot of people. Quiet, good man, but he's pretty much kindred spirits with Tammy, played by Jane Levy. And so his daughter-in-law, he loves her. They have a great relationship. She like makes their breakfast in the morning. He says thanks. The husband doesn't. There's a woman who sings occasionally in the morning, and they go looking for her. Everyone else is annoyed, but they like her. And eventually Tammy kind of learned this amazing scene with Jane Levy. I guess I don't want to give it away, but it's just this full 360 shot around her head where she pulls off about 40 emotions. She was nominated for an Independent Spirit Award, and totally deserved. I think she should have been nominated for an Oscar if more people saw it. But eventually he kind of learns that Tammy needs to get away from his son because his son has a lot of issues. And I don't want to go into it too much, but it's not like a breakup scene, but like the two love each other so much. She's her family never looked out for her. He's like, him and his wife were the first people that really took care of her and loved her, and like they're her family. But the son is just going through a lot, and he can't be with Tammy because he's just such a wreck. But there's this line where she goes, "This may sound silly to you, but you know what I think we are, you and me, what they call us back home." And she goes, "Kindred spirits." And it's just the perfection. It's a perfect little bit of dialogue where she says it. And she's from the South as well, so like she pulls off that accent. Like they just, like the two of them are so good together, so good. And Tammy is such an amazing performance. The director wanted someone who had a really strong inner life because she doesn't say much, but when you see her, she has a really strong inner life, and she works at like a Target. She has her own problems. She's like thinking, she in the beginning of the film, she's already has stuff on her mind. But that line of dialogue just hit me. There's a bench scene that just floored me. Yeah, it's just, I don't know.
I think that's the poster image. Actually, is probably the bench scene.
Yep, the bench scene.
Yeah,
the bench scene.
She's
so good, man. She's so good.
I love what I've seen Jane Levy in. I have not seen this one, but you did give me the recommendation to pick it up, which I will do. Because I do like David Strathairn and Jane Levy. I think they're kind of just the two of them. They look like an odd couple, just like not knowing the context of the movie or anything like that. But I think I could see them being fantastic together, like you were saying. So,
I bought it, listened to the commentary, like it more.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, Music Box, they released 3 of my favorite films last year. They did Ephus, Familiar Touch, and this, and A Little Prayer. Okay. And like those are 3 of my favorite 2025 films. But
nice.
It's just such a gorgeous little, and I'm telling you, man, she's like perfect in it. And just, but like, I don't know if you've seen Junebug. Have you watched Junebug?
I have not.
Okay, so Junebug's another really good movie, and the director of A Little Prayer, Angus McLaughlin, he wrote it, and it features one of my favorite scenes where there's this guy who Junebug. It's like early 2000s. This movie came out, got Amy Adams an Oscar nomination, justifiably. Scott is in it, the guy from like Walking Dead and In Cold Blood, and
Scott Wilson.
Yeah, Scott Wilson's in it.
Yeah,
and so is Celia Weston. But this guy sees that this Meerkats thing is on playing, and he knows his wife loves Meerkats, so he goes to try to find a videotape to record it, but then he botches it big time, and it's just a big mess. And so he went to go do something really nice for his wife because he knows she loves it and he wanted to tape it for her. But then he gets so pissed off that when she comes downstairs, he just yells at her. And it's such like a human moment.
Yeah.
And that's what this writer does. That's what Angus McLaughlin does. And this is what this scene is. And it's just a beautiful moment.
Would you suggest seeing Junebug, Mark?
Yeah,
Little
Junebug's
Prayer?
Directed by a different guy, but the humanity is the same.
Okay.
I do think
All right.
Junebug has much bigger personalities. Celia Weston's like a real tough wife. Wilson has retreated into himself because he's just the constant comments. Amy Adams just like an absolute sweetheart. There's a lot more characters involved, and I think it's a little bit more mainstream. Whereas I think A Little Prayer is much smaller and
more intimate.
Yeah. And I mean, both are really good, but yeah, I love A Little Prayer.
I mean, I love movies in general, and I know we've talked about our share of movies in the Feel Good series that are just like very character focused. Because you there's a lot to explore in like just sometimes a single character like Clean Shaven or Bad
Yeah.
Lieutenant or whatever. There's so those are some of my favorite movies, honestly. It's like where you let the characters and the drama breathe without trying to like suffocate suffocate the audience, or suffocate the actors with trying to make them be overly too expressive or whatever.
They're in it, man. They're in it. It's
That's
so
awesome.
natural. Oh, but yeah, that Kindred Spirits line got me good. So that's
Oh,
my
okay.
third one.
Okay, cool. I will check that one out. For my number four,
Oh, the big hitter. The big hitter. Is this
it's
the big hitter?
it's one of the big hitters. I'd like to think it's a big hitter
Is it a French
anyway.
Stewart movie? Is there a cave? Does French Stewart drink magic water in a cave?
In a manner of speaking, there's a cavernous element to this movie. I'm going to go with the award for most feel-good blind date, and that goes to David Cronenberg's The Shrouds, which I rewatched the first 14 minutes of it today just to like remind myself of how freaking awkward that date is that Vincent Cassell.
Let me take you to my grave. My
Yeah, it's
wife.
my
Let's look into it.
yeah. I got a plot right next to my wife. Do you want to see my wife's?
I own
See
this
my wife's
place.
grave? I own this restaurant in the middle of a graveyard where people can watch their loved ones decompose in real time. A detail that slipped my memory the first time I saw the movie months ago was the fact that apparently he's set up on this blind date by his dentist.
Yeah, yeah.
The movie starts off with him getting dental work and the dentist basically saying grief is rotting your teeth. He can't get over the death of his wife, so the dentist sets him up on this blind date where he proceeds. Karsh is the character Vincent Cassel plays. He's basically this tech genius guy who's probably like a billionaire, and he's come up with this technology where people can observe their loved ones in 6 feet under in this
Grave tech.
grave tech, yeah, with this shroud technology that allows them to view it. But the actress, I didn't write down her name, but Myrna is the woman's name who's sitting there over lunch
Oh,
like
Jennifer Dale.
Jennifer Dale. She is fantastic because
Yeah.
she extends such benefit of the doubt to this guy for so for like 14 minutes of screen time. She's like feigning interest, even though she's obviously creeped out by the whole thing. And the fact that he can't seem to advance past, you know, his wife. Everything is still revolving around his wife. And I know Cronenberg based it on the loss of his wife in real life. So I can kind of get I think there's a cheekiness to that whole scene or sequence. And I think Cronenberg is kind of aware of the grief component and how people get, I guess. And if you had the capability and the technology, would you do something like that if you had that felt you had that strong a connection with your partner? And I want to sort of extend the relationship in a way, but it's also kind of voyeuristic. And Myrna is just very off-put because basically Vincent Cassel is kind of he's basically doing an exposition dump for what the shrouds are and
Hmm.
how the technology works, and meanwhile she's kind of looking over his shoulder while he's just like transfixed his wife's decomposing corpse. And he's like, "Oh, you want to see this? We got this great Zoom technology
Yeah.
now that we've been working on." And it's just like there's this moment where she kind of sighs to herself, and she says they're outside, and she says, "Do you mind if I smoke a cigarette?"
Yeah.
And I kind of like that moment. And it's just like that whole sequence flows so well, I think. And actually it ends, I think, with Vincent Cassel's character kind of discovering something that's going to lead to the whole labyrinthine conspiracy stuff that threads through the rest of the film. But I just kind of love that. Just seemed such like the epitome of kind of a feel good scene that's just it's absurd, but it Cronenberg kind of plays it out like it's occurring in our current reality, I think. And so I think it kind of falls in with the feel good, as we kind of discuss it on this show.
That's a real feel good movie. The Shrouds. That's like the ultimate feel good movie right there.
Yeah. It's a heady, very dialogue heavy, movie.
Late Cronenberg,
Yeah, I mean, Crimes of the Future was the same way. It was
Yeah.
very he has this concept, but then it's like more about the characters and how they interact, which I'm fine with. It's just kind of him. I consider it him kind of evolving his new flesh at this late stage in his career.
New flesh, watching old flesh decompose.
Yeah, hey, there you go. Perfect.
I
Perfect,
love that the
Mark.
character too. In the beginning, she's very flirty, and because it's Vincent Cassel, he's
And
Vincent
he's
Cassel.
he's still a handsome. He's
Yes,
he's he's handsome. Yeah.
handsome lad, and she's kind
Yeah.
of playing with it, and then it's just, but it's never over the top, like you said. She does a sign, ask her. It's never like it's very still Cronenbergian, and I love that about the scene.
Yeah, there's kind of a deadpan quality to it that I like that, Cronenberg tends to like underplay a lot of character interactions like throughout his career in movies. It's kind of its own unique thing at this point. Like it's so understated, but it it conveys so much, just these little hints of emotion and body language. So yeah, I think yeah, best feel good blind date. It goes to The Shrouds.
Oh, I love that. Okay, I'm gonna take a movie called Sorry Baby. Have you seen Sorry Baby?
Unfortunately, but go ahead.
Oh, you didn't. Oh, okay. So
I didn't. No, go ahead. But
oh, so it's one of my
this.
favorite movies of the year. It was Megan's favorite movie of the year. I
I
just
heard you
think,
guys talking about it on your year-end show. So
yeah,
yeah.
like just the way it's handled. And I know we already talked about it, but I just think the way that house scene plays, just the time lapse, and just you're watching this really interesting, funny woman just get everything, all that taken from her. And I think it's just and she didn't want to show any violence at all in the movie because that's not, I wrote the film did not have violence in it. And with the time lapse and just, I don't know, I think it's she, and then she goes and talks to her friend, and she get Naomi Aki, Liddy, who's really good in it. But I just think it's a strong scene, and so I didn't know if you liked it or not, or I guess you're not a fan, but it's probably like one of my favorite 2025 films just because the blend of humor. Like I just think it's a strong scene with that time lapse of the house, because you don't really need to see it, you just need to know it. And I think the way she walks away, gets in her car, the following of it, and just it's a very strong moment. And I think Eva Victor's a director to watch, so I'm going to
Are
take
you?
that scene.
I'm sorry, Mark. Are you talking about that early scene when she leaves the house and
Yeah,
it's just done in
the
like
time
this?
lapse.
It's just done in silence.
Yeah,
Yeah. Actually, I really did. That was one of the moments in that movie that I thought was really well done. I from a technical perspective and from like conveying conveying emotion without dialogue.
yeah.
Just using the imagery, using the camera, using the character's expression or lack thereof. I did think that was a strong sequence in that movie without being exploitative about what happens, because we've seen what happens a million times before in movies, and we don't need to see it necessarily
No,
again for it to have a dramatic impact, which obviously in that movie she showed that it could have a dramatic impact without showing explicit detail.
and that's why I kind of like the rise of Eva Victor, the rise of Bronstein, where they're showing women from like films from a woman's perspective, and they are women. So like a lot of men have, remember that Jack Nicholson, like, how do you write women? Well, I do that. I take away all their, you know what I mean?
Oh
Or
yeah,
Joss
as good as it's
Joss
get. Yeah,
Joss
yeah.
Whedon, I just write women so well. It's nice to see women stepping up and telling these stories, because it just seems so much more realistic and
Mhm.
non-glorified, and so not like exploitation-y. And because
Male
Victor said
gazy.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. She said it's a movie about friendship, and I don't know. I just think, as far as if we're talking about feel good, I remember leaving the theater, and I actually think the humor is great. There's that scene where she's in the courtroom, and they're like, "How do you explain yourself?" She's like, "You wrote smart, but then you crossed it out and then wrote tall." Like, I think that's a really funny bit. And then Megan loves a scene where she's talking to the women at the college, and they're like, "Well, he quit, so we can't do anything." And then
We're,
they're
we're we're so we're so in support of you that, or something
yeah,
like that.
yeah,
It's
they
like
go,
the
"We understand."
cheerleading.
She's like,
Yeah.
"How do you understand?" She goes, "We're women." And she's like,
Yeah.
"What?" And then what's like Victor in that movie, she's like, "I didn't want to just portray men as the evil." She's like, "There's also women who don't support people who have been attacked, who are like part of the system." So she wanted to like show both sides being
Yeah.
insensitive, which I thought
Yeah.
was a really intelligent move, but those ladies when they're like we're women, like it's funny. And she hired a comedian for that too, and like just the way that they play it. So there's a, not only does it feel good, but it's funny. And there's that scene where she walks up to what, oh man, I forget his name. He's in every A24 movie. But
Lucas Hedges.
yeah, Lucas Hedges. She says his name. He goes, Lamb of God. Like there's that's like a great little bit when he just says Lamb of God in the middle of the woods. So yeah, there's a lot to like in that movie. And I think if we're talking feel good, I think it's just handled well and it's different. And yeah, so I just wanted to take that scene.
Well, I mean, the thing is, it's kind of the ending to that movie is kind of dark and depressing in its own way,
Yeah.
because of what's in some ways I feel like what's being imparted without giving the ending away. It's just like kind of what's being imparted to one of the characters.
Sorry, baby.
Yeah, it's kind of like, hey, the world sucks, ain't it a bitch kind of thing, and that's the way it is. So it's deal with it. You're now part of you're now part of this game, so you're gonna have to deal with it too. So
sorry, baby.
Yeah, I do think I do think there's something realistic about that as well. Yeah.
So
The older I get, the more I kind of see that that side of things. So
yeah, with Mallory, it's like I just want to raise her to be tough, So it's kick some butt.
Switchblade sisters, man.
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh, what's your final one?
Well, I could not settle. Maybe Mark, you can help me with this one, depending on what you think of it.
Pick one, and then you and I can do a speed round because I also have 5 left.
Oh it's like I have one more movie, but I just don't have like a specific
okay
scene from it because it's kind of to me it's the whole movie is a feel good movie. So maybe that's why I was saving it for last is because it's to me it's the feel good movie of 2025. And I rewatched it again today and it's Eddington and I'm so shocked. I'm so shocked personally because the two previous Ari Aster movies I've seen I have not liked. I was not getting all the love for this guy.
Same, yeah.
But I watched Eddington and I was like, this is interesting. I had some preconceived notions of what it was going to be and how it was going to be. And as it unfolded, I was like, no, it's turning into something. It's mutating in interesting, dramatically interesting and politically interesting ways. I thought without being really beholden to one side of the political spectrum or another, which I felt was kind of impressive. So it just
the bumper stickers, the discussions about masks. I hate revisiting pandemic movies because we lived through that, man. And
we did.
I did everything necessary, but now I look back at it and I do it all over again. But you're just like, oh man, I don't ever want to do that. So when I see movies that remind me of it and the arguments that were brought up, just, oh man, and then just Austin Butler and oh man,
as the cult, as the cult leader, yeah.
I like the bumper stickers that are like spelled wrong.
You're being why you are being manipulated. Equating Pedro Pascal's character as the virus. Yeah, he needs to be eliminated or whatever. But it's just such a loaded movie, and that's maybe why I'm kind of, no pun intended. That's just why I'm kind of like, there's so much there. And so much about it is like cringy and unsettling because I think it does capture the pandemic. I think probably most accurate of the pandemic movies that use the pandemic as their narrative thrust, because there's certain scenes there where Ari Aster's really good with the small details, like that early scene where they're refusing to let the old guy in the grocery store because he refuses to put a mask on. And then Joaquin Phoenix is like, hey, you can't do that. Let him in. You can't do that. There's a way to treat people, and he's
the guy in the bar as well when he has to go out there and throw him out,
which is apparently the mayor's son.
Yeah,
the wino.
Oh, that scene, yeah.
Who appears like pretty much in every major scene up to a certain point in the movie. Yeah. It's just like, what is, but it's so, even that, like,
oh, and the ending.
Yes.
Oh,
It reminded me of Very Bad Things,
yes.
actually, the way that one ends.
Yes, yes.
So, it was
That might
like,
be more horrifying. The like pan out of just everything horrible in that backyard.
yeah, yeah. You're like zooming out into space at this suburban nightmare, basically, that Cameron Diaz has inherited. Yeah. But yeah,
Oof.
it's kind of our. I like how Ari Aster kind of twists the knife, so to speak, near the end of the movie, and it's like, oh, this is this there's this character who kind of essentially reaps what he sows in the movie in so many words. And it's just such a loaded movie. Great, fantastic cast. There's characters who want to reach through the screen and strangle because they're just so horrible or obnoxious. But I think even in those cases, he gives them a little more depth than just being like obnoxious for obnoxious's sake. But I just get such a stomach clenching feeling revisiting that movie. It was just kind of like this heavy feeling in my stomach because it does hit on stuff so accurately. I feel well telling obviously it's obviously a fiction story, but and there's even some humor thrown in there. That's some of it's a little
Your
over. Yeah. Or I love the moment where he leaves the party and he knocks his the top of his election mobile off. It falls off and he doesn't come back for it. So
Joaquin Phoenix goes all out for that guy.
he's really, he's really good, and he disappears into that character. I'm like thinking of, thinking of him as the Joker, thinking of him as, the guy from
Bo?
the Bo
No, wait, as other characters, right?
from you were never really here.
Oh gosh, yeah. And
You
that
know,
terrible documentary he made, the faux mockumentary.
I'm not here, yeah, or
Oh,
I'm not here or
I wanted
something.
to fist fight them. Like I knew what they were doing, but I hated that doc so much.
I never watched it.
I was
I
like,
just was like, yeah.
when you get what they're doing, like some people are like, it's subversive. It's like, yeah, I get you're being subversive, but I hate it. I think
There's
so. Like just
yeah.
because it's subversive doesn't mean it's good. But yeah, that movie. But he commits. That's for sure.
Yeah, I kind of like how his whole rationale at the beginning of the movie is like it's like he doesn't want to wear he doesn't want to wear a mask because he's asthmatic. And I'm like that was an argument that was coming out of the pandemic the days like, well, how are you supposed to breathe? And I think it's ironic that by the end of the movie he doesn't have a mask on, but he's still like wheezing wheezing himself to death basically. So, yeah,
Good one.
yeah, so Eddington is like sort of my if this show has the equivalent of a best feel good picture, I would name Eddington my feel good picture of 2025.
Yeah, I would give that and Shrouds. I think those two are kind
Mm,
of those two
yeah,
sort of work for me.
yeah.
All right, and then my last one. I don't know if you saw it. It's called "It Was Just an Accident." Uh,
Not yet.
okay,
Not yet. I want to.
okay. So I'm not going to give it away, but there's a 14-minute scene. And they said 13 and a half, 14-minute scene that is just, they filmed the movie in secret. And so he said they what did he say? All the stress that we were having during shooting, because every second counts and it's vital. There are already significant risks involved with such a long static shot out in the open with the lights trained on Aziz at night. There's no additional time to rehearse or do multiple takes. There's like a 14-minute scene that's just wild. And I guess I
Hmm.
don't want to get too far with it, but it's just three actors filming secretly in Iran. And it's like
Wow.
tears and they what's interesting. So the director had never been he had been interrogated. He's been released before. He's like, the
Wow.
reason that I had been interrogated myself 15 years ago and it's for a period of 3 months. He was interrogated for 3 months. So a long time had passed and I had not really been able to connect with the interrogator character. So he gave the actor all the details about he contacted somebody who recently had been through all of that. And he gave the actor all the details about what interrogators usually do and how they usually behave. First, they come in and play it dumb.
Wow.
Then they
Yeah.
try to say, if you work with me here, I'll work with you there. Then they might show some force. Then they might humiliate. And then they might have hysterical laughs. So, both he brought in people who had been interrogated, quote unquote, torture interrogated. And then there's just a 14-minute scene to cap the film.
Wow.
No, it doesn't. It's right before the end of the film. I guess like the climax, not the final. I don't know, whatever you call it. But yeah,
Hmm.
it's a raw personal scene. It's just a medium shot on this guy. It was interesting. He goes, "I was working on this film. I kept thinking about all these characters and talking about a character who was absent because you don't really see him much for reasons I don't want to talk about. And then he had a shot that was entirely his and that belonged to him, and other characters had to be absent. He's like, and my only solution was to have a medium shot of him, and it made it a little difficult. And so it's a single tight shot, and they got characters blindfolded, tied to a tree, and he has to deliver a monologue like Hamlet, and he has to runs a Hamlet like emotional gamut through his roles as a brutal interrogator, and it's a really 14-minute long filmed in secret scene, and it's really good.
It sounds grueling.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I don't know if you've seen any of the director's other movies, which like No Bears is really good. This is not a film, so there's a weird sense of humor to his movies as well. But this is a strong scene, and the actors bring everything. And he made a funny point. He's like, nowadays, lead actors get supporting actor nominations, but if this was like the real world, this supporting performance would get a supporting performance nomination. Because if you think about it, like Sean Penn has as much screen time as these like who is supporting? And like Paul Mescal for Hamnet, he's not supporting. He's a main character. Stellan Skarsgård, he's not supporting in that movie. I think they should do like it's interesting how they decide. But
yeah, I agree with what you're saying. It's kind of mysterious. The ways of the Academy.
And then
and it was only an accident, or that is nominated for best foreign film,
oh yeah,
I think, correct?
Very good film. It should have been nominated for best picture. I mean, it's just it's like punk rock filmmaking. They filmed in secret. They go to jail, so if they got caught, and he did get arrested. So
wow,
it's an interesting film, and also I don't want to spoil anything else about it, but I had 5 other movies I won't spoil.
Yeah,
The Plague, it won a bunch of Independent Spirit Awards. I don't know if it was that strong for me, but the end is strong. There's a movie called Surat that I can say nothing about, but once you see it, you will know. And
my art house theater is getting that one in like
oh
within
my gosh,
a week or two. I do want to see it.
And just like go see it. Like,
okay.
I didn't even know what it was about. I got the neon box set. No, I got the screeners from them online. So I'm like, oh, I heard this is good. So I put it on and I just went, oh my gosh. So watch that. And then I think Companion, I think Jack Quaid's really good in that.
That was good. Yeah.
Yeah. And
I like that one.
He's so cruel to Sophie Thatcher. I think the way that he underplays his role, there's a aside from maybe one speech, it's one of the scariest performances of the year, but there's a scene where he's talking to her and he doesn't mean to do it, but he says something like, it's a lot to process, but he remembers that she's a computer and he kind of chuckles about it. Yeah. It's a really bleak, mean scene. So I like that.
I like I really like about Companion is how it's not really a spoiler, but how the opening scene of that film is turned on its head about halfway through.
Yeah.
And I was not expecting.
You're my little boo thing.
Yeah, watching that movie, I was like, is the twist going to be this one thing that they're really playing off heavily in the trailers, or is the twist going to be something else? And it does turn out to be something else. So I was like happy that it didn't like it went this one place and then it went to a couple other places, and that made me happy because it surprised me that way. So
yeah, it's a good movie. Good movie. And the presence, the ending, I won't talk about that.
Oh,
there's a movie called Sound of Falling. It's a German film. It won at Cannes. It was up for Germany's best picture, international best picture. It was about like 4 different generations of women living on this German farmhouse, just going through it.
Wow.
And there's a character named, and so it's really filmed. There's like a ghost in the it's filmed. It's a flowing camera and it's very observational. But there's one scene that's really sticking in my memory is this woman who, there's a bunch of them that stick in my memory, but there's a woman who she's like just traded basically to another family, and she has to go get a surgery so she can't have kids because if you're a maid you can't have kids, like you don't want to go away on paternity thing. And she's like going away on this corn thresher and she just falls into it.
Oh
yeah. And like it's just
wow.
Yeah, it's a gnarly scene, and there's a lot of it in that movie. It's they talk about generational trauma, but it's a gnarly German movie, and it's filmed really hauntingly. So
I wrote it down. So
Sound of Falling. That's a scene. But yeah, I mean, I know we're supposed to have some humor. I went pretty dark, but these are the 5 films that kind of came to me, and I wanted to share them. And aside from Sorry Baby, I haven't really talked about It Was Just an Accident, a little prayer, but like Bob Trevino Likes It or House of Dynamite. So I wanted to talk about different things.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. And it's like obviously there's stuff I need to see that you saw. So you see more movies than I do, man. I'm doing a disservice to this fine program.
Hey, perks of the job.
It's like, I wish I got the A24 screeners la-di-da. Okay, yeah.
I can just casually say that, you know.
I want you to like lift it up, Mark, and show it to me so I can be jealous. Just kidding.
I
Just
got like
kidding.
you know what I think is the thing for movie snobs now, where are the
Yeah.
neon box sets, because they've
Yeah.
released I think they've released 7 of them and I have 6.
Because
So
it's one a year, right?
yeah,
They didn't,
and
yeah.
so like I have a bunch, you know, and like, you know, when they hand out business cards, like, oh, look at that business card, it has Ivory. It's like, oh yeah, look at this 2023 neon box
Check out
set.
this neon
Yeah.
box set.
This is so big, I hate it. It takes up so much space.
Oh,
It,
he doesn't have the slimline version. Oh, he has the big thick phone book version. Yeah.
oh, he doesn't have the first one. Oh, too bad, you know, just
Second pressing.
loser,
Yeah.
loser. Someone was talking about, it's like, I don't really even like the first one because it didn't even include I, Tanya. And you're like, oh, you.
Uh,
But yeah, that was great, Johnny. I know you gotta get out of here, but make sure to go follow Johnny Numb. I'll share the website on the post. He's a very good movie critic. Read his stuff, listen to the feel good episodes.
yes. Yes.
Anything else?
That's all I got. That's all I got, man.
We
You covered it.
good man, Johnny Numb.
You're a good man too,
You're a real
Mark
kindred
Hoffmeyer.
spirit. Let's go throw some popcorn bags on roofs.
And wait for the lightning to strike. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. All right. So for me, Mark, I was gonna say for me, Johnny Numb. So for me, Johnny Numb, and for Mark Hoffmeyer, this is me. This is movies, films, and flick. That really threw me off. Have a good night.
I was gonna say me, Johnny Numb, you, Mark Hoffmeyer.
Me, Johnny Numb, you, Mark Hoffmeyer. For me, Johnny Numb, you, Mark Hoffmeyer. See you next
Yeah.
week.